Hey guys, welcome to the vlog. Uh, it's been a long couple days, um, but it's been a good couple days. Uh, so for many reasons, which I don't entirely want to get into right now, because I want to know for sure that things are going in the direction I think they're going. But uh, so I'll confirm that hopefully soon, at a later date. And but so I've been basically just keeping busy. Last night I worked at the gas station again. And now, Mark, I can say for certain that I regret going back. Um, because a couple of the employees decided not to empty any of the trash out outside. And one bag was ripped, and I noticed that. Or a couple bags were ripped, and I noticed that. Or one bag didn't have a bag in it, or the bag fell in and nobody cared. And so I had to carry those out bag and dump them in the dumpster. But the one with the rip bag was so full that I couldn't just simply throw it in there and like empty it out. I had to, most dumpsters have like a fence around them to prevent animals from getting in. I had to stand on the top of the fence. I had to straddle between the top of the fence with one leg and the top of the dumpster with the other leg and shake out the barrel while trying to stay balanced and not falling into the dumpster, which would have been bad. It was like, all the while I'm asking, am I getting paid enough for this shit? And also, one bag decided to throw up on me, which was great. Curdled milk all down my side. Or it wasn't actually a lot. It was just, no, it was a lot for most people. But I've had worse. I've had almost entire bags dump on me. So this is not bad in comparison, but it was still curdled milk, and I still had 2 hours in my shift to go. So I'm like, great, I'm gonna reek of curdled milk for the rest of my shift. Like, beautiful. But that's just me. Um, but then Saturday, I didn't really do much Saturday. Well, let's see, what did I do Saturday? Saturday I just kind of hung out with my mother, and I did go to. Oh, and I had a gaming session, and then I also had a session of. I went out with my cousins and we smoked cigars. Actually, they didn't care for this cigar. I brought them this cigar. I'm like, God, it's got a very good, nice sweet chocolate taste in it. Granted, this one doesn't taste like chocolate because fucking humidity issues in my humidor are driving me insane. But I'll fix that problem if it kills me. And so yeah, that's basically how my weekend went. How did you guys' weekends go? And let me know in the comment section. And now I'm gonna get to reading. Let's see, what should I do first? I'm gonna read the dumbest. I'm gonna read a comment from one of my relatives on Facebook. I'm not gonna say how I'm related, but I'm gonna read a comment, read something that I saw on my timeline, or not my timeline, but just like the feed that I have. My relative says, had a visit at my nephrologist, probably pronounced that wrong, that I had never met before. As he discussed my kidney stones, he said that I couldn't change my parents nor the way my body evolved. I told him with all due respect I didn't evolve. God made me, and I was fearfully and wonderfully made. Total silence from him. With a little smiley face afterwards. I'm like, no, you didn't just trump him. It's like he was probably staring into the vastness of the stupidity of the comment that you just made. And wondering, whew, the level of stupid is strong in this one. Like, when I read it the first time, I'm like, well, there it is. The dumbest thing I read all day. Now I'm pondering whether or not to respond to that. Because anybody who posts something on Facebook and then somebody posts something disagreeing with you, and you get mad at them for doing that because it's your post. I'm like, no, you posted it on a public forum. You get what you get when you do that. So, yeah, that should be in. Yeah, so. There it is, the dumbest thing I've read all day. And then let's see if I can catch up on some reading of comments. So here we go. Mark, you left a comment. I like the channel name. Mark, you said on the Cigar Hangout, something wicked cool this way comes. I couldn't let Romeo boy keep having all the fun, and when I saw where he had made yet another update to his name and profile, which I liked it a lot. Thanks to you, it seems I thought maybe this was time for me to get a little bit more creative with my own style here. So yours truly is coming at you and YouTube with an all new and improved name and theme as well. So if Rory can explore a side that interests him and share it with the rest of us, so can I. So you will see a little different format from my own channel to my own channel in the description. But having said that, on with the comment. I just wanted to say that I hope you were happy with the success of the Hangout Friday. I am, and I do want to do another one. I don't know when because unfortunately I've been quite busy this week with exams. So. But hopefully we'll do another one maybe in the next couple weeks. It looks as if you have some serious reading on your hands from Dark Rainbow Romeo. Enjoy that one. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about all that. Thanks for inspiring me also to do my own thing, brother. Leave my mark here. Mark. Thank you so much. That means that it's so cool to inspire other people, and just like how other YouTubers inspired me to get into this, like just like Brian from Cigar Obsession, inspired me, just like Matthew Santoro, just like Markiplier, just like Philip DeFranco inspired me to get into this. I'm very happy to inspire others into getting into it as well. Let's see. Oh, Jesus. Okay, so I'm going to read a comment from the Cigar Hangout from Rory. He says, I think it went very well. I hope you were happy with it. It was a lot of fun, and although it ran a little beyond the extended time due to the late start, I dealt with it, and I hope this will encourage you to want to do more of these hangouts. Yes, it was a lot of fun. It was so much fun hearing from you guys, and I enjoy What I enjoyed a lot about it was the fact that I didn't have to do all the talking for it. Like you guys could continue and have your conversations in the comment section, and I could just kind of tune in as a spectator too, sort of. So that was kind of it was kind of cool. Like we were all kind of conversing together, and it wasn't just me talking. And let's see. Uh, I enjoyed the back and forth between you and Mark, and although Mark and I got a little silly, but it made for some good laughs. Yes, it did. And don't worry, like I'm not a very serious guy, like so don't ever worry about having to take this channel too seriously because I don't. And I was even happy to see Christian Floyd come on here at the end. Not sure where he went off to before you wrapped it up, but I did my best to encourage him to check you out, join us for the hangout, and I saw where he's up to. Yeah, that was pretty cool to have other people that I haven't really seen comments from in a while uh, join in. Uh, unless just give me 1 second. I just want to check something out. Yeah, it was definitely cool to see him tune in and all you guys tune in. That was pretty fun. Um, and I'm very happy with the way it went. It was very cool. Granted, I'm sorry that it got off to a late start. Getting home from work late kind of didn't help matters, but it was still really fun. So I left briefly to do a video on this hangout, but trying to do it and watch at the same time caused some errors, which I did not want to upload. So for the sake of doing it better, I'm going to re-record the video and try that. As to the question you asked me, which I don't even remember at the moment, maybe it'll come back to me when I go back to comment on your last vlog. Now we need to get to do a newer cigar smoking avatar for the Wide Toll 2 channel. Yeah, I'll probably do another avatar soon because that picture is old. Um, believe it or not, that was from one of my old dating profiles online. Yes, I tried my hand at online dating with mixed success. I made some friends that way, uh, but yeah, uh, had some had some potentials, but unfortunately, things kind of got in the way. Like one had not a big problem with my cigar smoking, other than the fact that she has very bad lung problems, and me being a cigar smoker would have been not so good. So we decided to remain friends. Uh, so yeah, I'm gonna need to get a new avatar for that soon, especially because that's also back when I had blonde hair. Uh, and now obviously I don't. Probably will do a actual avatar soon once I get my contacts and maybe after I get my eyebrow pierced. Which should be a lot of fun. Um, and then let's see, John John Gao left a comment on the cigar hangout. He said, "What happened to Epic Mad Science?" That is going to be starting up again soon. Just the it's just a nightmare to edit, like especially on this little laptop here, because of the like that is kind of like a I try to turn it into like a TV show quality, video. And doing that with just a laptop and one monitor is kind of hard because you want to see a preview of it, and you're constantly clicking back and forth between the editing and the preview. So I'm going to look forward to doing it on this computer where I can do the editing with one screen and I can see a preview of what I'm editing on the other screen. And then also this computer takes a while to render it because it doesn't have a very good. It's good for what it is, which it's only meant to be like browsing online and doing Word documents and stuff like that. So it's good for that, but it's not really good for editing because I go to render a 30-minute video, it takes 8 hours. So it's not a very good machine to do that with. So I'm hoping that once I'm able to film the science part of it, and I'm able to film the science part of it, and once I figure out how to get the editing software on this computer, I should be able to what's the word? I should be able to start producing Epic Mad Science more. Now that I have like a dedicated computer and desk to do it at. And so I'm looking forward to that. So I think I'm gonna try to get one out at the end of this month, and then I'm getting one out where I got set on fire out in December for yeah. Merry Christmas, getting set on fire, Happy Holidays, or whatever you celebrate. So yeah, so hopefully it's gonna come back soon, as soon as I really have the capacity to make it good, because I have like all the stunts filmed, and I'm sure I could bullshit some piece of crap film of like me explaining the science, but it wouldn't look good, and I don't want to really put out videos that especially of the potential Epic Mad Science has, like that. I think is the channel with the most out of all the channels I have, I think that's the channel with the most potential, and I don't want to squander that potential half-assing it. So I want to, I only want to produce good content, and if I'm not going to be able to put out good content with it, I don't want to. I want to wait on it and put out content when I can. But long story short, it's not over. I still have a bunch of videos ready to go up. Well, not ready to go up, but I have all the stunts filmed, and I'm not out of ideas. I have many ideas for stunts. I'm working on building one right now for a stunt. I'm on a rocket sled that I'll be riding down a hill with 800 newtons of rocket thrust coming out of the back of it. On one of those toboggans. All I picture is the damn that guy from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation with his damn sled. So yeah, look forward to that. And so yeah, it's been a. So Rory left a comment on his part 1 comment. Oh, I read that already. During the hangout. He left a comment. He left the part 2 of that comment, which I haven't read yet. Well, I've read already, but I haven't read here yet. You get what I mean. He says, part two, yeah, working with kids can be hard. That's why I never do it. Even though I did teach first through fourth grade Sunday school. Yeah. Ooh. That's worse. That's worse than actually teaching. Oh, eee. Oh, just awful. And you better change that with the workout regimen or how often you go to the gym to work out. Otherwise, you're going to work off all that weight you do have and wind up even skinnier. So what I typically do and how from what my understanding of fitness is that when you lift, you're not losing weight. You're not burning, well, you're burning calories, but you're really tearing, what you do is you're tearing your muscles and then more muscle grows over that tear to repair it, and that's why muscles get bigger. And you're not really losing any real weight when you lift. You're more actually putting on weight because you're building more muscle. Now, when you do cardio, that's where you lose a lot of weight because it's not really building muscle; it's more just building endurance and building just getting your you're sweating, you're burning fat, because you're using energy to do it. So really, I don't actually do a lot of cardio, so I'm not really losing weight. I have to actually start doing cardio because but what I'm doing is I'm building muscle, so I'm actually gaining weight. But I'm gaining the right type of weight, like I'm gaining muscle, not fat. So I did. So yeah, I mean, and plus I enjoy the feeling after coming home from a gym. I feel a lot more confident, and it's just it's a really good feeling coming back from the gym. Well, after you shower after the gym, then you feel good. So I mean I kind of I'm enjoying going to the gym. Uh, he says I did a lot of acting in school, did plays, and even met a talent scout after I graduated from high school. So who knows where that might have led if I took up that offer. And before you ask why I didn't pursue it, because I wasn't ready to leave home. Hell, I wasn't ready to leave home when I moved into my grandmother's house after she died, and I was 37. Now look at me. I live in a crappy apartment with 11 cats at age 48. I wouldn't say that your apartment is probably not that crappy. It's probably not that bad. I mean, yeah. So I mean, as long as you got your own place, like to me, like it's kind of paramount to um. So, but in the Quentin Tarantino, and that's most likely spelled wrong. It is. I think it's spelled with an A and not an E, and I think it's just one R. Uh, but he starred in his movies. He directed also. I think he did. I don't know if he starred in Kill Bill though. I know he did star in From Dusk Till Dawn. What else? What else? I did in a couple movies. And I think if I were to direct my own movies, I think I would, especially if I'm gonna direct this horror movie, which I want to do, like I like really want to do because I've like started really thinking about it and how I want each character to die, or not each character to die, but kind of like how I want like the beginning of the movie to be and why they're getting together. So I think I would star in that movie, but I think I would, well, not star in it, but well, technically I would be, but I would want to. I wouldn't want to be the character that lives. I definitely want to be one of the, not the first two characters to die, but definitely the third character that dies. So I think if I were to write my part of the character, I'd be the kind of the oh shit death. in the movie, the one where the characters like confirm that this monster is after them, you know. So just because I think it's really hard for an actor to also direct the movie, so but also it's a big way to save money. so um, so if I could compromise and star in a movie and kill myself off in the middle of the movie, that would probably be the ideal spot. So that way I could focus on wrapping up the story and getting everything right while still saving money through acting a part in the movie. And yeah, I mean, and he does a pretty good job with it too, acting. And so, not all directors can act, but he's definitely one of the ones that can. And the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. It does not say that money is the root of all evil. I'm just gonna make sure I reiterate that thing and just make sure I got it right. And the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. It does not say money is the root of all evil. And yet, almost everyone misquotes that, which proves that a lot of Christians don't even know their own holy book, what their own holy book says, and why there is it is why is it that there are different versions of what's supposed to be the same events. Oh yeah, I always when I'm debating, I always use that against them. It's so much fun because I remember debating this one guy who is this big fundamentalist Christian, and so I'm talking to him, and I say, and he's a believer that we're all damned with the original sin, but that Jesus died on the cross to save us from the original sin. So, and so I'm talking to him, and I say, so God created the Garden of Eden and the tree of knowledge and the snake and everything. God obviously had a plan because he's all powerful, so he's all knowing, and he knew how everything would progress, right? And he goes, yeah. So God creates the original sin, and he's like, yeah, in a way, yeah, he did. And I'm like, okay. So, well, no, I didn't. No, no. This is the sequence of which I said it. I said, so God had Jesus die. God created Jesus to die on the cross to save man from the original sin, right? And he goes, yes. And he goes, and then God. So, but also, couldn't you also say that God created the original sin because He created everything and he's all powerful, so He should have known what would have happened. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, so couldn't have God saved Himself all the trouble of creating Jesus and having Him die on the cross for all of our sins if He had just not created the original sin in the first place? And he's like, yeah, like his face kind of snapped, and he's like, yeah. Now that only works if they believe in the original sin, which is kind of hilarious. But then, also, I also said, I also talked to him about how Jesus died on the cross for us, and I'm like, so Jesus died on the cross, right, for all of our sins? He's like, yes, for all of our sins. And he made a point to say all of our sins. So I'm like, so that's all past, present, and future sins, because those would be all sins. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, and my first thought is, so I got credit. I can apparently sin as much as I want to, and it doesn't matter. So I got credit. But the Garden of Eden one is not an original. That one isn't original, but the because a bunch of atheists use that argument. which is so easy. It's a pretty easy argument to use. And then another what's another big one that's but the credit one, that's kind of a joke that I came up with, and that was an original argument. That, I believe, was an original argument. It's probably been used before, but not to my knowledge. So, or I haven't heard of it being used before. But chances are, if you've thought of it, somebody else has also thought of it. So, then there's another big argument that Sam Harris came up with. Actually, instead of me stating that argument, I'm going to leave a link in the description down below to the video of Sam Harris, it's a very powerful video, so I definitely recommend watching it. It's about 10 minutes, and I definitely recommend that if you watch it, it's going to be pretty. Well, the voiceover by Sam Harris, and they took his speech and they put it over a bunch of different things, I believe, and it's a very powerful video, and I highly recommend watching it. So I'll leave a link in the description down below for that. And then so personally, I believe religion is the root of all evil. Wouldn't exactly say that, but I will say that religion is the root of most evil. That's for sure. Because there's some that's probably caused by other things, but definitively most evil is caused by religion. Or then he says, or at least it produces a lot of it. So yeah. You like playing games, but this isn't the first time you mentioned 4K or 4Play. What's the difference? So 4K in terms of is resolution. So I'm looking it up exactly. So what so there's standard definition, which is 720 pixels, this way, 576 or below 576 this way, and that's kind of the border, is 576 by 720 this way, or 720 by 576. That's the border of standard definition. Anything beyond that is getting into HD. Now the border of HD is 1,280 pixels this way, 720 pixels this way. That's why you say 720p. That's HD on YouTube. Now, full HD is 1920 pixels this way, 1080 pixels on this way. This way, that's 1080p. Now, there's Ultra HD, which is 3,840 pixels this way, 2,160 pixels this way. So it's double HD. So it's double full HD basically. Now, beyond that is 4K. 4K is 4,096 pixels this way, 2,160 pixels this way. That's 4K, and that's basically the highest resolution in terms of clarity basically out there right now, there is 8K, which there's no standard 8K monitors out there or TVs. You can get apparently you can get them custom made, which I mean I don't have that kind of money, so I mean, and the like a 4K monitor like this one um, costs a good amount of money. Like luckily enough, I was able to save up for it because I really wanted to be able to view 4K videos because I'm big into movies, so I wanted to start watching movies in 4K, which is maximum clarity, or not maximum clarity. There's 8K, and then there's working on things between going up from that. So it has to do with screen resolution. So like this monitor is very very clear. Uh, so yeah, that's basically what 4K is. Uh, and yeah, I kind of figured you were smoking a Blanco 9. The length of your stick kind of gave it away. Gurkha, New World, Blanco 9s. Did I forget any? Avo. I also like the Avo cigars. And I don't like all Gurkhas. I'm not like a. I do love a few cigars by Gurkha. Like I do like the Grand Reserve. I do like the Black Dragon, and I do like the Ghost. But I'm not usually a fan because, or no, the Red Witch was good. The Stellar Reserve was good. But sometimes you can hit a Gurkha cigar which is not so good. Gurkha is a massive cigar brand in terms of they're one of the just they have a ton of cigars. Like I could spend forever just smoking Gurkha cigars, and not smoke one twice because they have so many. I could have one a day for a month and probably not smoke all of them. At least that's what it looks like because there is an awful lot. And they also have the widest price range on cigars too. Some of them go for I don't know, probably like $250 a stick. Just some that go for literally $1,000 a stick. So um, yeah, they have the biggest price range on cigars too. I also I'm also big. I'm a big Padron fan too. Padron is one of my favorite brands because they have the most probably consistent brand that makes cigars consistently well. And New World is or the New World line by AJ Fernandez. There's only a couple cigars I think in it, and like the natural and the so AJ Fernandez. I mean I like the New World. I haven't tried any of the other cigars by him by that company. So yeah. Uh, but and Blanco Cigar is also a very small company. So I mean, uh, like I said, I'm like they're small enough where I'm literally friends with well, I haven't met him in person, but I'm actually friends with him on Facebook. The vice president Dave Blanco, who does all the blending. So and he's a very nice guy. If you ever, I've seen him talk and I've seen him interact with some people, and he's a very nice guy and a very very cool guy too. Um, I remember my tennis lessons when I was in high school. My best friend did quite well after I quit. I gave it up to do other activities. Um, so maybe I'll actually get into the thing that's positive. Um, but Well, I'll talk about that at the end of the vlog. And um, I remember my tennis lessons in high school. My best friend did quite well after he quit. I gave it up to do other activities, and even though the whole blondes had more fun saying, maybe just saying, I bet all the girls gravitated towards you. Hell, I bet they gravitate towards you still. Yeah, the high school tennis lessons. Here's the thing with high school tennis, which infuriates the absolute utter crap out of me. Most of high school coaches are not good coaches. They're teachers who happened to play tennis back when they were in high school and thought, oh, okay, I can coach the team now, which and some coaches are also very inflexible in their coaching style, which I also find is a problem. Um, that's probably maybe the one fault I can give my coach, but it just happens that also but the style that he uses is most effective for me, for a player like me. So, um, like some coaches are very soft and very like baby the players, and some players need that. Some players need to be kind of babied along, but also some players need a very strict and hardcore coach like mine is, who will yell at the top of their lungs at you if you're slacking off or something like that. So that very much helps if you depending on the player you are. So it all depends on what kind of player or what kind of you know style of coaching you respond to best. Now I try to stay flexible with my coaching style depending on what works for certain people. I'm mostly an easygoing coach, but but it all depends on what they want me to do, and like I've been the hardcore yelling coach, um, you know, yelling when they start to and pushing them really hard, uh, and then some players that doesn't work on, and I'm more of a softer coach. So, but the problem is most uh, coaches don't know the actual mechanics. Well, not the actual coaches, but like the high school coaches, because I don't know the actual mechanics of the game and like how proper shot work, like what you're actually doing to the ball and proper drills to do. Because my high school coach would literally put a basket of balls and just the net and just feed constantly right to the middle of the court. It's like, okay, 3 forehands, 3 backhands. Wouldn't make us move, wouldn't make us do anything, and like that's not realistic. That's not like what you're actually gonna face. If you get a like anybody can hit a perfect ball every time, um, but you don't get perfect balls in tennis. Um, so it's that's why like I was saying like if you want to play, don't. And I definitely, if you want to learn, I'd definitely be willing. And if you were up here and you wanted to learn, I'd definitely be willing to show you the ropes of the game. And depending on how serious you want it, like I change my coaching style depending on how serious they want to play. Like if you want to learn how to be a really good recreational player, I don't need to bust your balls at all, because I can make you a good recreational player um, pretty quickly, because not too many recreational players are that good. Like right now, if I were to play just recreational pickup tennis, I'd lose maybe 10% of the time. When I find that one other good recreational player. But I would, but playing competitively, it's a whole different ballgame now. So yeah, if you really want to just like learn the sport for fun, just I could show you the basic shot mechanics, and I wouldn't have to. If they want to be competitive, that's when I up my intensity and start really getting on people. But if I'm coaching a recreational player, which I have in the past, then it's I'm a lot more chill on the court. So, and I bet all girls gravitate to you. Hell, I bet they still gravitate towards you still. No, no, not at all. The problem is in this vlog, I have a very low vocal register when I'm just like talking. Like not when I'm doing these vlogs. Like I kind of raise like I talk in a very lighter tone, but when I'm just talking with my friends, I have a very very low voice, and like this low. And the problem is when that happens, I've had this low of a voice since freshman year, and the funniest thing happened, and I was gonna talk to this girl, and I came up, I came up. We were leaving class, and I was behind her. I said hi, and I made her jump about 10 feet because I sound like some really old, well, not really old person, but I sounded a lot older than I was, and she freaking jumped and hit the ceiling. So I'm like, great start. Great start to the conversation. So yeah, that is my problem. And nowadays it's more of I mean I talk to a few girls, but they're more friends or and stuff like that. So no, girls do not flock to me because I'm kind of a weird person. So not to say I'm antisocial, but I'm kind of uh, very quiet. So yeah, yes, I'm not the strong silent type. I'm just the silent type. So um, he says, I'm sure the past year has been very tiring, and I hope that your vacation, which will be a well-deserved one, is restful but fun. I hope that your mother has improved greatly since last November. Yeah, she's like when this happened, we were told that she'd basically be um not a vegetable but close for the rest of her life, and we'd be taking care of her, and we'd have to hire nurses and to come in uh, and she would need help going to the bathroom and stuff like that. And now she's driving. She's driving fine. I mean, when this happens and somebody comes out of that and they start driving like I don't think I'll ever be like you know comfortable in the car with like be able to like take a nap in the car with her just because I just like know where she's been and what she's like coming from. So I don't think I'll ever be like that comfortable in the car again. I'm still kind of sometimes hitting that imaginary brake on my side of the car, like he stopped, he stopped, he stopped. But I'm glad that it's gotten. We are incredibly lucky, and so I'm very very happy with that. She should hopefully be returning to work soon. Um, and I mean, life will never be quite the same again, but it'll get remarkably close to being how it used to be before this all happened. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And then, yeah, now I'm taking a vacation. I'm like, okay, Life is, we fought hard to get life back on track. Now I'm taking a vacation. So, as for the pronunciation of the names of cities, those can be tricky. Our streetwalkers have had to correct out of town Johns on more than one occasion. I know this because a friend of mine is a hooker. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that profession at all. I mean, my whole thing in this bullshit of the criminalization of prostitution is so stupid. Because it's basically telling people like, oh yeah, you can't do what you like. Like I said, I'm what's called a libertarian left, which means like I'm very like I'm very orientated in terms of freedom. Like I think people should be able to do what they want with their bodies. Like if they want to make money, you know, you know, selling themselves for selling their basically selling their bodies for money. I'm like, go for it. Your body, do what you want with it. You know, who am I to decide what you should do with your body? So that's kind of my whole thing, and I believe that we should um, regulate it, tax it, and well, regulate it, tax it, and regulate it to protect the women involved in it or the men involved in it, um, and tax it because God, we need some way to get this country. That's why I'm like, we should make lead legal nationwide and tax that too because we need the tax revenue. We should make all drugs legal just because we need the tax revenue. Tax it, and yeah, that should help to some extent. Of course, regulate it. Like, I don't want you to be high behind the wheel. Um, but yeah, that's kind of my whole philosophy on it. Like, I'm very like, if you want to screw yourself over doing whatever you want to your body, that's fine. Go for it. Like, if you want to get fucked up every night with cocaine or heroin or whatever, go for it. I'm not. Like, my job is not to protect you. Uh, my job is not to protect you from yourself. So, and I have no right to pretend that I have that responsibility. You're a capable adult. That's what an adult means is being responsible for yourself and not expecting others to be responsible for you. So, um, in that regards, I'm like yeah, as long as you're not putting anybody else's life in danger, go for it. Don't get behind the wheel of a car. Don't operate a firearm. Don't operate heavy machinery. But if you want to shoot up heroin and sit on your couch and watch TV, go for it. But so that's my whole philosophy on it. Oh dear, did I call your hunter's pants camo? My apologies. It's a camo pattern. I don't really care. I know what they could be pink for all I care. All I know it's fucking comfortable. And when I'm asleep and I'm at home, I don't care as long as it's comfortable. Um, so I'm not looking to impress anybody with my pajamas. Just um, sorry about your pickle phobia, and I agree. Fear can be a wise thing, but jumping off a bridge isn't necessarily stupid, dangerous. But while people have been known to die from doing such stunts, you apparently did not, thank goodness, and learned to share the experience, and no doubt the thrill and rush from the plunge. No, but I've actually been in situations where people have nearly died from jumping off the same bridge that I have. I had one person actually nearly died. One person who jumped like two people before me nearly died from the jump. Of course, there's alcohol involved because there always is. Um, because while I do these stunts of jumping off bridges and things like that, I do them in a very or as controlled way as I can. Like I know the risks involved of jumping off this bridge, and it's fun, but I'm not gonna dick around as well. Like I'm gonna take it seriously. Like it's sort of like shooting. Like it's I love shooting, but I'm not gonna act like a I'm not gonna mess around with the gun. Like it's fun to shoot targets, but I'm gonna be very very careful with what I'm doing. So same thing with jumping off bridges. Like I'm going down, feet first, into the water and not trying any. I guess you could try flips and stuff, but I might try, doing, an occasional flip off the bridge, but I'm not gonna try it, But I'll try the flips from like 15, 20, 15 feet when I know I can land it. Um, but there was this one guy who climbed up an additional 20 feet to like 40 feet and was really really drunk and decided to try to do a flip, and he landed basically in a belly flop position with his head landing first in the water. And the reason why you want to enter feet first from that height is because the surface tension hurts a lot when you don't. Even just having your arms out from 20 feet and you smack the water with your arms are now just instantly red the entire way. So this guy did that, and he got knocked out in the water. He didn't come up for a while. Uh, and when he came up, like if you've seen those Hollywood or the TV shows where the body all of a sudden, comes to the surface of the water after it becomes, in like the first scene of the movie when they're investigating a murder or something. That is exactly what it looks like. That is like oh my god, that it looks exactly like it how it does in TV. And of course, he's unconscious and he's not breathing. Or I think no, he might have. All I know is, luckily, one of the members from our party the fireman that blew me up because he can't shut off a grill right. At least he knows CPR pretty damn well. So he went over there and performed the life-saving procedure. Or not. I don't even know if it wasn't for the member in our party stepping in, I don't really know what would have happened to that guy. So, yeah, it's been, yeah, there's, doing dangerous stunts is fine as long as you don't dick around while doing them and take them seriously. Like, be well aware of what you're doing. So, and same thing, like, don't attempt stunts that you have not practiced before. Like don't try a flip for the first time from 40 feet. Like, try a flip for the first time from 10 feet. See how that goes. Because 10 feet, the consequences are minimum if you screw up. Then try it from 20 feet. Because now, if you master it at 10 feet, go to 20 feet and see how that goes. Because now the chances of you screwing up are a little bit smaller, and then move up from there. Don't start from 40 feet. Because that will not end well for you. But I might attempt a flip, but I have never attempted a flip from anything higher than from a diving board on a pool. I think I might eventually try a flip from, a bridge if the bridge is low enough where the consequences are minimum if I screw up. But you need to have some sort of an understanding of risk versus reward before you do stunts like that. So right now I'm just strict Navy SEAL, tucking your arms, really tight legs and entering the water like that. So it's the professional way to do it. So yeah, that's my whole take on that. But no, I've never come close to dying from any stunts. Have I come close to dying from anything else? No, I haven't come close to dying from doing any stunts, actually, believe it or not. So I don't know how. Some of the stunts I've done have been crazy, but like I said, it's all about preparation and thinking what you're doing through before you actually do it. That's the kind of key to pulling off any stunt with any remote success. I watched a lot of MTV before I graduated from high school, and I enjoyed the '80s music and videos. And then I saw some episode of Headbangers Ball during the day, and I decided to tune in to the late night Saturday evening regular airing. And from there, I fell in love with hard rock and heavy metal. Even saw a few hard rock bands play Decatur, which was cool. But believe it or not, VH1 started having country music shows, which I watched, and then my repertoire of music changed greatly till I switched back from rock to country, watching TNN and then CMT, and the artists you mentioned are my faves of mine too. Yeah, I mean, actually, I'm gonna get another cigar to finish this vlog out. Yeah, some of my favorite artists. I mean, I don't like all country right now because, like, Florida Georgia Line, I'm not a huge fan of. I'm not a big fan of bro country, like partying and drinking, and I like some of the songs, like cutting loose and having a good time. But when that's the only thing that they're playing now, it kind of just it irritates me. I'm like, what happened to like Alan Jackson? Like what happened to like? Alan Jackson did some of those songs like "Good Times" and "It's 5 o'clock somewhere" and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, those are fun songs to do once in a while. But when your entire um, collection is that music, it's like what not enjoyable. And this cigar has a knot somewhere. And so yeah, they so like I enjoyed Alan Jackson because he reminds me a lot of the times like when I was younger and would spend with family and stuff like that. So like I quite enjoyed that aspect of it. So and Eric Church the same way. Like Eric Church right now is like my favorite country artist right now. And what's sad actually to me is like Alan Jackson is actually still releasing albums, and I do listen to them occasionally. The only problem is that he gets no airplay because now country has transitioned into this bro country, and even Eric Church is not getting a lot of airtime. It's more Florida Georgia Line, it's more like this pop country, and so it's kind of pissing me off. That's why I don't listen to country stations that often. And Yeah. So you like to fish, huh? Do you think the? I mean, I do. I did enjoy fishing. I do and still enjoy fishing, but I just don't have the time for it right now. Like I'm hoping to have more time next summer to go out and fish, but it's been a while. There's a knot somewhere in the cigar. Um, do you think the apostles thought Jeebus was was a little weird when he said to them as they sat in their boats casting their nets, "Come follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." No homo. That's some of them thought and said to each other, "No, I think he's a homo." um, that's funny. Commentating on the U.S. Open. I don't think I've ever heard of that before. Uh, yeah. So there's four big tournaments in tennis. There's the Australian Open, the and this is the order they go in. The Australian Open, which is in January. The French Open, or Roland Garros, it's also called, is in May, I believe. Then July is no. Uh, well, yeah. I think early May is Roland Garros. Uh, no, sometime in May is Roland Garros. Then in June into July is Wimbledon, and then the U.S. Open is in September or late August into September, and that's and those are the four big tennis tournaments. And so we were commentating on the U.S. Open because the final of the men's Open, men's portion of the draw, because both of our favorite players were our both of our favorite player were in the draw or was in the final. You know, we're both big fans of Roger Federer. Uh, so we were both really hoping that he would win. He unfortunately lost. Then again, he is 34, and playing competitive sports at 34 is kind of a miracle in and of itself, never mind being, at the time, number 2 in the world. So, yeah. He says, you responded to Mark's comment on why we watch you in your blogs, and they're sort of an internet reality show, if you will. I hope not to the extent of keeping up with the Kardashians. I hope I never get to that point. um, and you said you were getting red contacts. Yes, it's like they're not like bright red, but they're like a very dark blood red contacts. And you said that should be nice for the upcoming holiday. You could always alternate red one day, green the next. Or like the last thing I'd want to do is just like alternate colors at Christmas. No. um, I'm looking forward to though my like some of my favorite Christmas movies playing like like A Nightmare Before Christmas will be playing. Um, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation will be playing. A few Harry Potter movies will be playing. Um, things like that, like comedy Christmas movies I enjoy, and also Krampus is coming out, which I'm looking forward to. Which is like a horror movie based around Christmas, which is pretty cool. It's kind of about time they did it. I'm surprised they haven't released a movie like that beforehand. And those tats are going to be a lot of ink. You up for all that? And those piercings too. Yes, I have a very high pain tolerance, so I'm not too concerned about that. It's just the time it's going to take to get it all done will be a little tough because it's roughly an hour for each one. So getting 4 done at once is 4 hours of me sitting in a chair getting it done. So, but I guess you can't get. I guess nothing comes without a little bit of sacrifice. So. It should certainly make a statement, that's for sure. Jesus killing Christ, look at the length of this thing. You'll be forever reading this one. So let me just end it on this final observation. I noticed that you put hand over your mouth in between responses. Is it just something to do with your free hand, or is it just a habit? Um, like this, and that's mostly because I like to stroke both my goatee and mustache. I'm like, it's what I do when I'm thinking because I'll stroke like my mustache or goatee to when I'm thinking. So yeah, that's why I do it. He says, well, now I'm done, and with thanks to you, I am now Dark Romeo Rory, or Dark Rainbow Romeo. You can read about it on my channel's description page. Good night from here. Uh, Thank you, Rory, for your comment, and Mark, the comment, your channel will be linked in the description down below. And so, and yes, I'll agree with Mark's comment on left on that comment. You could be a comedian. You're pretty funny. So, thank you guys for your comments, and I will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.